Welcome to High Oracle's Reiki Spiritual Healing Channel. And so I understand that I have a lot of you upset with me and reaching out and saying that, this is why the New Testament, made all old things pass away, and, which is absolutely a lie. So, let me make sure that we are understanding when we are talking about generational curses and bloodline curses, then you have to understand that Genesis 9 and 25 is when, Noah cursed his son. So these types of curses will, in fact, supersede, whatever was given to you in the New Testament. So with that being said, when we are dating and when we are looking for marriage partners, for myself and for a lot of people who have been raised, within the marriage bond, then you look for the young man to hold his father's name. Okay, so let me tell you the difference of what I'm saying to you. Again, when you are marrying a person that is married outside of their mothers, or for generations that have been married outside of the wedlock, then you are going to marry their demons. You're going to marry their suffrage. You're going to marry the higher spirits that come with that. So if he has bared his mother's name, if he and his family, all the women in that family, their children bear the maiden name of their mother, then that means that they have, a lineage, a bloodline, a curses up on their bloodline. And this is what that means. So this is what I have been trying to teach you, that once you know the name, it's not only the name of the entity, but it's also knowing the name when you want to, if you want to enter in the marriage bond, that would, break the curse over that lineage. For those people who have their mother's name, you would now be the curse breaker in that family in that way. Okay, so in many cases, a lot of the people who do not understand the spiritual method, in order to heal this type of attack upon your lineage, you have to be able to get married, because you will be visited with this higher spirit, with this type of attachment to your bloodline, up to 10 generations. Okay, and in the 10th generation it will be broken. So in many cases, you will have a way that God has given you to remove this type of negative energy. And many times it will cause the sacrifice. It will because a sacrifice upon your lineage, and that means that you're no longer are engaging in those types of behaviors. That means that you're teaching your children, not to engage in marriage outside of wedlock. You're not looking for just any kind of person. You now have a set tone that you want to attract. You want to attract the man or the woman that was born inside of wedlock. Okay, if you should fall in love with the person that was born outside of wedlock, that is fine. But you also have to understand, now you have this understanding, what comes with that. You marry into their demon. You marry into those types of attacks upon your bloodline and your children that carry these generational curses. Okay, so now we have understood that. Now we have to be able to understand that there are other things that can cause these types of attachments in your family line besides the name. If your parents, the males and the females in the family, they were involved in the occult, they were involved in covens and secret societies, this can cause different types of attachments, higher spirits, where the identifier is that the children in the family are born with attachments, mentally challenged, physically challenged, autism, cerebral palsy. Okay, so we want to make sure that when we are looking at these families, when we are entering into it, these are telltale signs. And usually these families will try to keep these people either hid, or they will try to rush to get these people married in order to break these types of spells over their family name, over their family lineage. And in many cases, the male or the female that enters into the family will absorb these negative spirits, and they will become the scapegoat. They will become the sacrifice for these family members that have manipulated you in this way. Okay, so now we're getting into it a little deep here. We're getting in a little deep here, so that you're understanding from a spiritual perspective, why the Cains and Abels, why Cain was one of those men that you would shun. The violent man, the man that was pretending to be a part of the family culture, that was pretending to have the gifts, who wanted to be like his brother and did not have the blessings of the family or God. Those men were shunned. Who did not have the skills, those men were shunned. Okay, so this is why I keep telling you guys that a lot of you would not be able to get married. Okay, this is why when we're finding the men, and they are believers, they have skills, even if they are in even if they bear their mother's name, they can be reformed. That negative energy can stay with him, even if you are married. Okay, so we want to make sure that we're looking for the name. We're looking at the lineage when we're getting married. This is what is being taught. This is what I'm teaching a lot of the women, those people who follow me, that it matters about the lineage, the bloodline, because if these types of people have different types of incest, they have been allowed to have multiple women, then they also have multiple attachments. Okay, which can attack your health, your finances, and it can attack your children. It can attack your bloodline that you make with this person. So these demonic entities can also be born to these children with mental illness or mental retardation as a way to attack the family as well. Okay, and we've been seeing this online, where you have a lot of the mentally challenged kids jumping on the mother, attacking the mother. You have a lot of the males, when they have mentally challenged children, they will abandon the mother with those children. So this is why it's important to know the lineage. It's important to know what kind of mental challenges, what it looks like, and what type of negative spirits look like. 919 as I'm saying this. Okay, so I know a lot of you are upset with me, and I hope that you can get over it, because this is what spiritual attacks, this is what spiritual warfare looks like. This is what spiritual bloodline, generational curses look like in a family that has attachments, that you will inherit the prostitution, you will inherit the drugs, the addicts, and all of that, or it may come through your line as a child and or your children. And it's very important for you to recognize this, and I hope that you receive this message. So please like, share, and subscribe to me over all of my platforms. You can book your one-on-one life coaching sessions or your video chat sessions. Book your consultations from highoracle.com, www.highoracle.com, in the description of this video. Please donate to me or give in offerings if my videos have helped you to have a better understanding. Like, share, and subscribe to me, guys. I really appreciate it. Leave your comments for me. Please make sure that you're reaching out to me in the description below of this video. I'm High Oracle, Reiki Spiritual Healer. Assalamu alaikum.